Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Bachiru. So Marvel Tōkon comes out in a couple of days and I'm personally excited about the game. So in this video I want to share with you 5 essential tips that you need to know to help you pick up the game faster and give you an edge while you're learning the game in the beginning. So if you enjoy this kind of videos, please leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't done already, and let's get on with the tips. Tip number 1, it's regarding the team structure aspect of the game and the dynamic roster. So while Marvel Tōkon on the surface looks like a traditional tech fighter game, it's anything but. So you get to choose 4 characters and the team composition is very important. However, when you first start the match, you only have access to 2 characters. Your main point character and your first assist. And your goal should be next is to unlock your different assists to gain the most advantage during the matches. So the way that you unlock your additional assists is number 1, triggering heavy wall splats during combos, and the second option is to trigger a wall break. So taking advantage of these mechanics will make sure that you have a competitive advantage very early in the matches. However, if you lose a round, you get to unlock also your assists, so that's something just to keep in mind. So this is how the developers decided just to balance how you unlock assist characters and to give you more chances as the match progresses, basically. Tip number 2, it's regarding the shared health bar. So in typical tag fighting games, each character, they have their own health bar. However, in Marvel Tōkon, all characters, they share the same health bar. So tagging your character doesn't really affect how much health you have. So managing one health bar is a critical part of the game, and this allows you basically just to focus on managing one resource with regards to health. However, the health gauge is not really static, and your assist doesn't really contribute in like managing multiple health bars. So there is a one regen mechanic in the game, which is basically when you trigger a wall break. So if you trigger a wall break, you get some of your health back. So your target in the match basically is to make sure that you avoid your opponent getting a wall break to restore their health. In the meantime, you take advantage of this mechanic, and you should focus your assist to be playing more part of an offensive tool and a lockdown tool, and basically just to control the neutral and to control also the matchups. Tip number 3 is understanding the combo system and the limit gauge. So basically Tōkon eliminates traditional hit stun scaling and it replaces it with something called the 10 stack limit gauge. So basically when you do your own combos, you are contributing to a meter that stacks and which determines when does your combo end. So just to give an example, standard normal hits, they add 1 stack per hit, and if you do an auto combo string, it adds 5 strings. If you do an EX or a super attack, it adds 0 stacks, and if you do assists or wall splats, it decreases the stack by 2. So what does that mean basically? Standard normal attacks and special moves and EX moves and assists allow you to do longer combos. However, if you rely on basically auto combos, it cuts your combo very short. So the game, in a way, it's rewarding you for doing better execution. So for you to feel like you're doing really long combos, you have to understand this. So avoid using auto combo strings. Focus on starting your combos with very good standard normal hits. Basically, and if you want to extend your combos, make sure you take advantage, number 1, of the assists and the wall splats, and number 2, of the EX and the super skills. And this is how you see like all these long combos happening on Twitter and on YouTube, basically. So make sure you master this mechanic because it's really important in terms of damage, in terms of basically corner carry, meter build, and abandon the idea is that like your starter determines how much damage you get. So how you determine like the stack of the combo for that limit determines really the length and the damage of your combo. Tip number 4 is the green team gauge and the universal defensive mechanics. There is a green team gauge that's separate from your super meter, and when you press light and assemble, it allows you to do an armored forward charge. So this basically allows you just to avoid like spamming projectiles from far away if you're being locked down, or if you are in a pressure sequence and you need to escape that pressure. So basically it's like a super armor that allows you to blow through like offense. And if you time your L plus the assemble button perfectly against an opponent's attack, you activate a mechanic called perfect counterplay lockout. This basically freezes the opponent and it doesn't allow them to call assists or utilize their own green gauge at the same time, leaving them entirely open exposed so you can mount your own offense. Definitely there are more defensive mechanics that I haven't covered in this tip, so when the game comes out I'll make sure to cover it in a separate video. Tip number 5, which is one of the most important tips, is understanding the unique button. Basically similar to a game like BlazBlue, each character in Marvel Tōkon have their own unique button that allows them to do specific moves special to their own character. So for example, Spider-Man, it allows him to have more movement options. For Black Panther, it allows him to have a dash that he can cancel out of special moves or normal attacks. For Magneto, it allows you to pull the opponent towards you, so on and so forth. So understanding the unique button and the mechanics that comes behind it for your character is very important, and it really what allows each character to set themselves apart, basically. So understanding the unique mechanic, it will be a core part of mastering your character. So my advice to you is, when you're watching character overviews or you're starting to lab your character, make sure that you understand the unique mechanics that are specific to them. My favorite so far has been Black Panther's movement mechanics and Magic's teleportation. So definitely let me know in the comments which character you're most excited about and what unique mechanic that you really find like that attracted you to a specific character. Some extra tips before we wrap up the video. So number 1 is regarding the assist mechanic. So you have multiple assists in the game, and depending on where you position the order of your characters, it depends what kind of assist that it will come out from them. So if you press forward and assemble button, you get a projectile assist. If you press down and assemble, you get an anti-air, and if you press back and assemble, then you get a specific utility assist for the character. Like for example, for Ghost Rider, he whips his chain, which is very useful. So just keep that in mind. So where you order your characters, this is really important. Also, definitely, when you are pressuring, you can also bring out your assist. They will do their own assist, and then you can swap onto these characters. So swapping characters mid-pressure and mid-neutral will play also a very important part in understanding like the team aspect of the game. An additional tip is also related to like damage as well. So as you know, there are simple inputs for special moves. However, if you do the traditional input, which is basically a quarter circle motion, down motion, a dragon punch motion with an input, and you get a special move, you get 10% more damage, and you also get meter gain. So there is really no disadvantage of using the traditional inputs. On the other hand, I think it's encouraged once you get comfortable with playing the game more. Finally, Marvel Tōkon has a comeback mechanic. So basically, when you are on match point and your super meter is full, you can execute what they call a token assemble ultimate. So this is basically an unscaled like super mega high damage move that really can turn the tide if you know how to use it. So how useful it is, we will know basically, because the resource expenditure is really high, but it's really cool and flashy, and this is what you see in the trailers. So if you find yourself in a pinch, I think it's worth just keeping it in your mind like during the match. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that you will enjoy Marvel Tōkon when it comes out, and I'll definitely be making a lot of content for the game. I'm very excited to play it, to get my hands on it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.